Hey, I am 10 days out from the end of this 30-day challenge where I'm eating chicken, broccoli, potatoes, carrots, and as of week, as of day 9, I could add some additional vegetables and Greek yogurt. So it has been an interesting journey. Um, my weight has been all over the place. I weigh myself every day. And part of that is to just get data to see what direction I'm going in and to not fear the scale. I've gone for long periods of time where I've not weighed myself at all. I don't consider myself to be like an obsessive scale weight person by nature, for which I am very grateful. Um, and but what I was noticing recently is without weighing myself, I'm in perimenopause and I was just gaining weight. So earlier this year, with a trainer, I was doing weekly weigh-ins. I asked to do that so that I would know if I was going in the right direction at least once a week. And I was finding I was training 3 days a week. I was, doing my workouts without any issue. But because previously we were doing monthly weigh-ins, with a monthly weigh-in, if it's like a random Tuesday and I want to eat pizza, then I'm just going to eat pizza. But if it's a weekly weigh-in, then I probably can't eat pizza on Tuesday and then, on Thursday be like, oh, I really want a burger or whatever. It forced me to stay a little bit more on track. And so if there was a birthday or a random Tuesday, that's one thing, but making sure there wasn't a random Tuesday 3 days a week, So, let's see. I think I missed my turn. I always get this turn wrong. It's fine. I used to live up in this area, but it's been many years, and now I just can't remember which way is the right way. But I know how to get there otherwise. I can take a different route. Anyway, so moving from not weighing myself to monthly weigh-ins to weekly weigh-ins and now to daily weigh-ins, just because I'm really trying to dial in. I wasn't doing it and I was not making progress. And so this is a way for me to get data without judging it. And women's weight, it's interesting watching YouTube videos where men are doing like weigh-ins and stuff. It just seems like men are much less complicated. And for women with like hormones and bloating, water weight, all of this stuff, there's just like a much greater range of the weight that you can have throughout the day and on any given day throughout the week. So the recommended approach is to weigh yourself every day and then take the average of the week and then compare the weekly averages. But I do not have time to make that average. It's so funny. I will take the time to weigh myself every morning and record that. But then when it comes to like calculating the average, I'm just like, oh my God, I don't have time for that. So I'm really worried. I think I just went the wrong way again. I don't want to look up the directions. I really don't want to look at the directions. It's fine. Usually I do. I've just spent 3 hours sitting in meetings and I am heading out to a coffee shop to work, but I just need like a break from work. Work's been so stressful. And I'm going to get these work plans back over the next couple days, so it's going to be very stressful again. And I'm just trying to enjoy this like tiny window of less stress while I can. All right, so maybe it's this one. So with my weight, my starting weight, I think on Sunday was like 182, and then Monday was 180 when I started the 30-day challenge. And my weight actually went down to 173, which I'm sure was like water weight, or maybe water from the glycogen stores, or water from puffiness, or I just, whatever, stomach or intestine contents, meaning your poop. I don't know. And maybe I was also not drinking enough water during that period. So anyway, I hit 173, which was like amazing. What is that? 8 pounds in like 2 weeks or something. So clearly not fat loss. Also, because of the workouts I'm doing, it shouldn't be muscle loss. But I think probably just water weight and puffiness. Though I have been decreasing in my measurements, so I do think some of that is fat loss. But there was kind of like a big dip initially, and then my weight actually went back up. That was last week. Last week was really stressful. Also, I got sick. So my weight went down when I got sick. Maybe it was because I was like not eating. I don't know. I just think things were different when I was sick. I slept a lot for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, because I was recovering. That was 2 weeks ago. So then this past week was when things were really busy with my work. I submitted 3 work plans in 2 days. I stayed up until like midnight submitting a work plan on one night, and then couldn't go to bed until like 2 a.m. So things were just way out of whack. And what did I do? I was also eating poorly. Like, I was following the diet, but I was eating in a way where I was incentivizing myself with food. So I was taking like the chicken, cutting it into tenders, putting seasonings on it, and then putting it in the air fryer to make like a chicken tender that felt like a restaurant meal to me. And I was eating that with a Greek yogurt that I put seasonings in, so it was kind of like a cheesy dip type thing. And I was eating more than I normally would. Sorry. Because I just needed to get through these unpleasant, uncomfortable, intense Excel spreadsheet tasks. So I do think that I ate more calories last week than the previous 2 weeks. One, because I could eat more variety of food, so the Greek yogurt I was eating, more of, and then 2, because of the using food as emotional support, which I'm, part of the practice of this challenge is to try out food as fuel rather than as emotional comfort. And I did that for more of the time during this challenge than I would during a normal, very busy work season of life. So it's definitely a win insofar as if I just had not done this challenge and just had gone through this work planning intense season, normally I would be eating lots of pizzas and burgers late at night to get through the stupid Excel spreadsheets. And this time I reduced the period of time that I was doing that to last week, and I also reduced the number of calories I was eating in one of those kind of food as motivation sessions. So it's an improvement. It's good. I'll take it. It's a win. I would love to get to some point in my life where I don't need to use food as motivation, but that day is not today. So my weight went down to 173. I also was putting bone broth in a lot of things, and apparently, the sodium. I still think I'm eating pretty high sodium, so that may have caused some of the weight fluctuations. But this morning I weighed myself and I think I'm 179, which seems like I've done nothing. I also did not follow my meal, not follow the challenge. I fell off. Let's see. When? Thursday, I had a raspberry croissant and an extra latte, 12-ounce decaf latte, whole milk. I'm allowed one, and that within the diet modifications that I've set up. So I had a second one. I also had chocolate chips in the evening because I was stressed out. And I had chocolate chips the day after that and popcorn. That was Friday. Saturday, I had a raspberry croissant. And Sunday, I had Sunday, I had a muffin, a cranberry orange muffin, and popcorn. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days of not following. And again, those were like the most stressful. Thursday, Friday is the most stressful part of the work planning period. And then Saturday, I just wanted some relief. And apparently Sunday too. Wow, you're a really nice person. So that could also be the reason for the increase in the scale weight, not following the diet. Today, though, it's Tuesday, so Monday I was fine. I followed. Today, I think it'll be fine. I'm not super stressed out. So we'll see how things go for the rest of the 10 days. How do I feel? It's cool to feel like I fell off, and that could be a reason to just stop altogether, especially after 4 days of falling off. But I can't remember. There's a term that I've just learned, and I can't remember it, but it's essentially if you stick to your diet, or if you stray from your diet, if you have you're following some kind of perfection, and every day that you follow it perfectly, you're good. And then if you deviate one day, there was a study done where they followed people who were doing a fixed diet versus a flexible diet. And for the fixed diet people following the exact same protocol, if they deviated one day, after a period of time, let's say a month or 3 months, I don't know, comparing the people who are on a fixed diet versus a flexible diet, they saw that the people on the flexible diet kept the more weight off than the people on the fixed diet. So the what is this word? I want to say epiphany. That is not what the word is. when, I guess there's a phenomenon. The phenomenon of being on a fixed diet and then messing up once means you messed up and you might as well throw in the towel, versus a flexible diet where it's sort of like variation is built into the structure of the diet, and so then you aren't messing up, is the idea. This diet, the CPB diet, did have cheat meals or treat meals included once a week. Also, I guess they call it a planned hedonic deviation. So maybe next time I should just plan to like treat myself on the stressful night, whatever. I've been thinking a lot about what happens in the future after the end of this. Some big realizations are like potatoes really are amazing for satiety, and I've heard that a lot online. But I don't know, it's different when you're eating them every day. And some breakfasts I include them in, some breakfasts I don't. And when I look at my plate, I make like a really big plate of breakfast. It's just my habit based, because I put quite a bit of ingredients in my scramble. And so then I have this huge scramble. And usually what happens before I started the diet was I might eat all of it, or I might eat some of it and then have leftovers. And then I would just add that to my scramble for the next day, or eat it later in the day when I got home and I was hungry. But what I've noticed is if I have potatoes in my morning breakfast, I have a lot left over on my plate. Oh, I forgot to put my breakfast away today. Oops. It was a very stressful morning. So, where do I want to go? Sydney or Dayton? I want to go to Dayton, so I'll go to Dayton. I will use potatoes in the future in a way that I have not ever. They've changed mentally for me what they mean. They're very high in all these micronutrients, which I don't know why I didn't know that, but I didn't. And as long as you're not eating them with big portions of oil, like fried and French fries, then the satiety effect really is very pronounced. So I think I will add that to my kind of arsenal or toolkit for the future. If I want to make sure that I'm not going to overeat on a certain day, just make sure I have potatoes in my breakfast. So that's really valuable. Also, I had this weird calculation error that kind of threw me off. I had made this like chicken breast in the air fryer with the seasonings. Super good. Feels like a treat meal, but isn't. And I had put the information into MyFitnessPal, and it just said like all these chicken. I scanned the barcode, right? And it said the chicken breast was 500 calories. And I was like, what? You're kidding me. I'm eating this whole chicken breast thinking I'm like killing it, getting super high protein, and it's like tastes good, everything's good. But this is like a 500 calorie meal? What? So it like really freaked me out, because I was like, then maybe I've been over on my calories, way underestimating my calories. And then I used a different chicken. I put in raw. The following day I was like, chicken raw. And then I got the weight, and that was only 300 calories. So you got to be careful with MyFitnessPal, whether it's cooked or raw. But I measured it raw, and it was much more in the calorie range I was thinking it would be. So I had I kind of flipped out and was like, have I just wasted all of this effort? Because it's been, a lot of effort to not eat all these delicious foods available to me everywhere all the time. And I don't want to lose 30 days of hard work for nothing. Another thing that I've realized is like when I'm eating normally, I don't usually crave sweet things, though I have noticed in perimenopause the sweet tooth is definitely more pronounced than it ever has been. I would rather still have a savory food, but being on this 30-day diet challenge, I suddenly want like sweet things, and I've been able to manage it. Not, there was the chocolate chip days, but like yesterday, I really wanted something, and I did my workout. And after my workout, I made my post-workout, which was my last meal of the day. I did Greek yogurt blended with mandarins. So on the diet, you can have oranges. I just do mandarins because they're easier to open. That's literally how lazy I am. But making things frictionless really does help. So mandarins, easy to open. Oranges, you gotta take out a knife, blah, blah, blah. The skin's hard to peel. So I opened 2 mandarins, put them in a blender with Greek yogurt, and made a I can't call it a creamsicle because it doesn't taste like a creamsicle, but it hit the sweet tooth that I needed, and it was very high in protein. And since it was the whole fruit, not everyone would like this, but it you drink it, but you can kind of chew a little bit the remnants of the whatever the fibrous part